Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I apologize for my voice and if you hear me sniffling, I have been sick this week and I'm barely getting over it. With that being said, I wanted to make today's video on explaining how to check if a law school actually accepts the JD Next score or not. This video came as an idea after I had a conversation with somebody in my comments, and I'm like, this is probably some really good information that I should put out there. So thank you to that person that inspired me. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I just want to start off by saying that this is the process that I use. Does not mean that it is the best process. You do what's best for you. And also, I do think this can get a little bit complicated. So I'm going to go slow. I'm going to try to talk slow. And also, just do what's best for you. I also want to say that this might be easier if you actually kind of have an understanding on how the LSAC portal works, but if not, then maybe this can be your little mini tutorial on how to do that. So let's start off right here on this website, the Aspen Publishing JD Next School Variance List. So this is all the schools that claim that they accept the JD Next. Is a little bit of disclaimer. Go ahead and read this when you have time. I don't want to spend my time doing that. As you can see here, some schools were just added a few months ago, some have been on for a few years. Yeah, I would say look at this list, start thinking about your wants and needs in a law school, start thinking about if you want to go out of state, if you want to stay in state, think about if you want to practice big law, think about if there's a specific law that a law school does really well, like for example, immigration law or something like that. Just start looking at this list and start thinking, okay, what law schools should I apply to? There is about like 60 schools on this list. So just take your time, do your research. That's what I did. It is time consuming, but it is worth it. I would recommend maybe you look at this list before you start taking the JD Next course, or you can look at this list while you're waiting for your exam, or just if you look at it whenever you have time, I guess. Yeah, a lot of schools, as we can see, there's some like almost, I don't want to say Ivy League, but higher ranked schools. There's some schools you probably have never heard of. Yeah, so let me walk you through what I would do. Let's start up here with the University of Arizona. What I would do normally is just select it, copy and paste it into the search bar, but I've already done that just to avoid wasting time. So let's go here to the University of Arizona. Here we have their JD, how to apply, their general requirements. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. We see deadlines, bachelor's degree. Here we go. Law school admissions test. LSAT, GRE, and JD Next. I'm going to go ahead and read. And we see that on this website, it is very clear that they accept the JD Next. So what I would do in this circumstance is I would just go ahead and add them to my list if I was interested in attending law school at U of A. Move on to another law school that is on this list, but I know for a fact it does not take the JD Next. And unfortunately, it's going to be Georgetown. Once again, select, copy and paste. I already have it open, but here we go. Application requirements. So, as we're doing our research, we're just going to go ahead and scroll down. Resume, transcripts. Here we go. We have language on the LSAT, the GRE, the GMAT. I have no idea what that is. But as we keep reading, we clearly see it says that they do not accept the JD Next, but maybe in the future they possibly will. So now I know very clearly that Georgetown does not accept the JD Next. I also have it right here where it's frequently asked questions. We just go ahead and scroll down, and there it is. Georgetown does not currently accept the JD Next. This would be an indication that I just, cannot go to Georgetown and they wouldn't be on my list. So I'm going to just go ahead and move on from that. It's a bummer though, because who wouldn't want to go to a highly ranked law school, but it is what it is. Now, let me show you how I would double check if a law school actually accepts the JD Next or if they don't. Okay, so here we are at the Nebraska website and their JD application requirements. It is very wordy, so go ahead and take the time, research what you need to, but I can tell you that I already see here LSAT score. I'm going to keep looking through it, see if they have anything else. I do not think right now they're going to have anything else. about the JD Next. So this is when you can do one of two things. You could pick up the phone or write an email and ask them, or you could verify for yourself on the LSAC portal. If you don't know, before applying to any law school, you have to add that law school to your school list. So it's right here under applying to law schools, school search options. You're going to go ahead and you're going to select it. You got to scroll back up and you have to save it to your school list. There's different applications that you can do if you're going to be a transfer student, if you're trying to apply for a 3+3, I don't know what that means. But let's go ahead and do the 2025 fall application. The one place that I would always start is going to be on the law school's instruction page. So we're going to open the instructions, and here we see an overview of the requirements, and again, you must submit an LSAT score. So this is where I'm kind of starting to realize, like, okay, there's no clear language on if they accept the JD Next. And then another place that you can check this is under standardized test. I'm not going to click it because I do think, or actually I'll go ahead and click it. Oh yeah, so it already has my LSAT score on there. Like I said, this is no secret. I told you all what my LSAT score was. So yeah, this is the other area where you can find if they accept the JD Next or not. So now I've double checked 2 ways to see if Nebraska accepts the JD Next or not. I'm going to be honest with you all. I actually already emailed them and I know that they do, but they just give higher preference to the LSAT. So yeah, just so you all know. But this is kind of like one way that I would verify if a law school does or doesn't. Nebraska doesn't have it clearly on their website and they do not have it on their application. So I would probably just move on if I'm being very honest. Or if I was very interested, I would email or call like I did. So let's move on to another school that I was going to show you is Case Western. Once again, I have their admissions pulled up, and then here they talk a little bit. I already see that they mentioned the LSAT. Gonna go ahead and just scroll more, do a little bit more research. They accept the GRE. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I see nothing about the JD Next. Now I'm like, all right. Once again, either I can call, email, or I can just double check without talking to anybody, because sometimes you don't want to talk to people on if they accept it or not. We're going to go ahead and come back to the LSAC portal. So I actually already started their application, and since I already showed you how to add a school to your school list, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. So yeah, I was already in the process of completing this application, but to be honest with you, I had already gotten responses from certain schools by that time, so I just kind of gave it up. Let's go ahead and go to the application again. Again, instructions. Okay, I see LSAT GRE. I'm going to keep going. Admissions. Oh, look, there we go. They have JD Next right there. So now I know that they accept the JD Next, even though it wasn't clearly stated in their website. And other rules. Now, what we can do is go back. What we can do is go to right here, application questions. And there you see standardized test, GRE, JD Next. So go ahead and click on it, and then there you go. Are you applying with the JD Next score? Yes, I am. Please enter the dates for all JD Next tests taken. And I took it last year in July. So I would save that information. I would finish all of this of the application, upload everything I have to and whatnot. And then once I'm done, I would submit the application. There is no fee to pay, but you do have to pay the CAS report fee, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. And once again, the second part of submitting this would then be coming to this JD exam report. They do share this link with you once you get your score, so don't worry about it. Obviously, you add your name, your email that's used or associated with the JD Next. It literally says that. And then your JD Next number. Again, it's going to be on your test results, your score report. So it's right there. This is an example, but you would just search the law school that you want to go to. So like I said, the University of Arizona. So I would put it there, put whatever day I think I'm going to apply or thinking about applying. And then if you found other schools that meet the requirements, you could add them here. These are the ones I have approved. These are the ones that are not approved. So just be aware before you hit submit. Make sure you read everything. And then you would agree to this, and then you would submit your score. I'm not going to do that because I have already done that, but yeah. So this is the actual portal that you'll use to send schools your score. And then just so you can check, you would scroll down, And then there is a place called completed applications where you would see if it actually sent or not. I wanted to have a little bit of a clarity conversation with you all, just in case some of you all don't understand, because I know that when I started this, I did not. So once you submit your JD Next exam score to a law school, this will be the confirmation email that you receive. Now, let me back up a little bit and explain the two different, websites you will be using in your law school journey if you choose to take the JD Next. So you'll be using the LSAC website, or I call it the portal. You have to make an account with the LSAC. Every single law school application that you are going to do and send is going to be done in the LSAC website. I am assuming that every single law school came to an agreement with LSAC, so that is where you will finish everything and where you will send everything. You first have to make an account. You will have to pay the $350 fee for a CAS. You will upload your transcripts there, and they have to be done in an official way. So maybe you have to pay a fee for your undergrad school to send them, but it is what it is. And also, if you went to any community colleges, you also have to communicate with them for them to send your official transcript. So keep that in mind. Also, your letter of recommendations will be uploaded in the LSAC portal. This is done by the recommenders themselves. So once they have agreed to write you a letter, you'll send them a link and then they will upload it on their own. So that will be found there. You will also be uploading any addendums, personal statements, and any other material that you want to include in your application in the LSAC portal. So you will pay the $350 to have access to all that. And then you have to pay $45 each time that you send an application to a school, which I do not find fair. I don't know why they do that, but it is what it is. Try to get a fee waiver if you can. So that is part one. Regardless if you have a JD Next exam score or not, everything will be done in the LSAC. If you have a visible LSAT score, it will also be sent with your applications. There is no way for you to hide the LSAT. Once it's on your file, it will be sent. Unless the score is more than 5 years old, then it will no longer be sent, but some schools still ask you to disclose that. So just keep that in mind. Once you have sent the application to the law school, that is when you will use the second portal, what I just showed you, the JD Next exam report, to send your JD Next score with that. And then they do actually communicate with each other. So let's say that you send an application and you're only using the JD Next. It will show on the portal if the application is pending or complete. If it's taking a long time and you notice that it's not moving, I would recommend that you contact the law school, because this is your journey, and make sure that you are in charge of what is happening, especially if you want to apply as early as possible like I did. So don't be scared to pick up the phone and call. I really hope that this made sense. If it didn't, please leave me a comment or send me a message. I'm more than happy to have a FaceTime with you or have a text message conversation, whatever it will be to help you. If you would like to see anything else from me, please leave a comment below. Once again, follow me on TikTok or Instagram. Also, subscribe to my channel, like these videos, let me know if there's anything else that I should talk about. Thank you all so much, and I hope this was helpful and not confusing. Bye, everybody.